Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at theofftherecordshow@gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. Oh God! All right, we back. Just off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Hey, Scotty, what's up?
Not much. So, it's March, and I feel like it's a yearly thing to ask: is this the best time of the year in sports? Because now I say we're adding now the World Baseball Classic. We have March Madness.
About that, because I heard you comment on it. You and our good friend Big Dog and Marcus have been like chatting. And I by the time I saw the chat, it was a little bit too late. So I didn't weigh in. But I saw where you called out the Venezuelan team and the Dominican Republic, and
they got some good teams.
They had some really good teams.
Yeah. So I feel like Venezuela had a lot of pressure on them to win, right? It'd be different if they was playing the Dominican Republic, whatever. The fact that they were playing the United States of America in the World Baseball Classic with everything that's happened with their leadership and the American leadership, I was like, they're playing with like, it almost had the feel of the United States hockey team in the 80s against, was it Russia? The Miracle on Ice?
Yeah, it might have been
Russia. It was one of those hockey playing towns, countries. But the way, and they won because yesterday they were up, and then I believe it was Bryce Harper. He hit a home run, and then they came right back in the ninth and went and scored the go-ahead run and struck out the United States. So it was big for that country. That was the first time they've won the WBC. Well, I just felt like they were due to win just because of all the bad stuff that's been happening.
I mean, they have a really good roster.
Yeah.
I have an opposite opinion. I felt like the pressure is always going to be on the U.S. because we're the ones that invented baseball, right? So it's kind of like with basketball. Pressure is always going to be on us because we invented basketball. But when you go down, like, again, a lot of those teams had a lot of major league talent on those teams where you're like, well, this ain't no cakewalk.
Right.
So I was happy that they were able to win. It was probably the one time I feel very unpatriotic by saying this.
Yo, gosh.
No.
Don't get us. Oh, and by the way, we are on TikTok also, but we'll talk about that anyway. Go ahead.
So where I was okay with the USA not winning last night.
Okay.
Like most of the time, you don't care what it is. You're just like, you know what, USA has to win.
Right.
But last night, just seeing like just how enthusiastic are these other
I mean, they were crying, and it's like
you had no choice but to really be happy for them. And the same thing with like the Dominican Republic team, like those guys are out there celebrating, the handshakes, and just having the time of their life. And for the first time, I was like, man, why can't we celebrate like that? Or why can't we? It looked like a little league tournament, and I mean that like
right. I know what you mean.
In a good way. Where you just saw a lot of people having pride in their country.
Yep.
Happy to be there, they didn't look at it like, okay, well, you're taking me away from training camp, and
right.
it's an obligation. Like those guys.
But I say the United States was pissed off. I mean, it wasn't like a smile. Like after they lost that, they were pissed, and it's like the Olympics, right? You saw the last Olympics with basketball, where pretty much LeBron, Steph, and KD took over, and it was like you saw the pride in their country. It wasn't about the Lakers or the Warriors or the whoever. It was about United States, and I think that's how Venezuela. I think the United States as well, because I mean those guys were pissed, and you had guys like Aaron Judge like, yeah, we got to be better offensively. You look at all the bats that they have.
Yeah, offensively, I mean, I was looking at a statistic, and they were naming like the top 5 players, and for them, they like batted. It was like 0 for 19. It was this outstanding pitching last night, and you saw the teams, utilizing their bullpens and just really having crisp rotations, and a lot of those guys play in the major leagues that will come in. And I mean, I forget the guy that came in the 9th inning or the bottom of the 9th. He, I think he's the closer for the Chicago Cubs. It was like, wow. I was like, it was a lot of talent, man. A lot of talent.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for Venezuela. They have bragging rights over. I don't. Is their president still like locked up and like some? I don't know. I kind of like leave the politics out of it. Yeah. So, but now we have March Madness tournaments about to start.
Well, before we get into that,
okay,
because I figured you was gonna bring this up. Shout out to the women's NBA.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to bring that towards the end, but you're right.
Getting the collective agreement, huge for their sport. A lot of people assume. I remember I knew this, but I had a coworker. This was a long time ago. Her daughter's like teacher had a WNBA player, and I don't recall the name, but she went in the first round, and she was like, wow, I asked her, and I was like, man, that must be life-changing. I guess you don't have to work. And she No, serious business.
Right.
And so, Mom Dukes gave her a lesson, like, at the time, like, I think like her first contract was like for like $50,000 or something crazy. And that was considered a good contract for like a first round like draft pick. And she was saying that no, they don't really make a lot of money.
Right.
They have to go overseas just to really
make ends meet.
To make real money. And you figure at the time, that might have been like 15 years ago. They've been doing that for 30 years where they're not getting compensated for all that they're doing.
Right.
And it's finally good to see that, okay, you've got billionaires that are making billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But they're getting away with not paying these women athletes. And for a while, you had like a lot of people just telling them, shut up and be grateful. Why are you guys complaining? Shut up and dribble. And just like really, it's kind of crazy to like really think about how people were perceiving them trying to get more paid as being greedy. So to see them come out on top, man, shout out to them. Salute to
So first and foremost, I think that I still don't like their leadership. I think that Carol Engelbert, whatever her name is, she's not the greatest of commissioners, right? Because of NIL, because of like some of the sponsorships and deals that some of these ladies are getting now, right? And give it up to Breanna Stewart and the girl from Minnesota. I'm drawing her. Yeah, I'm just drawing a blank right now, but they have the 3-on-3 league. No, it's like undisputed. Undisputed. I want to say undisputed.
She's like the commissioner of that league.
Yeah, but her and Breanna Stewart. and I'll get her name because I want to give her props. But I want to see, she's like the MVP too. I'm just drawing a blank right now. But anyway, but now that they had that league that was available to the women, and they didn't have to go overseas because that, if I'm not mistaken, they was getting like $250,000 or something like that. And then so anyway, so they have other outlets to where if the WNBA don't step up and you have to lock out, or they went on strike, or there was a lockout, or whatever the case may be, some sort of work stoppage, they wouldn't have been hurting. No, that's not everybody in the league, right? That's not everybody, but the vast majority of those women that are playing that's gotten drafted in the last 2 to 3 years have gotten some sort of NIL money. The women are getting more exposure, right? So they didn't have a choice. And not to mention, you have a WNBA team that was just in their infancy last year that is worth like $500 million. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of money for, you know what I'm saying? So now you have all of these things. You have to. They got the TV money. And yes, they're not generating like the NBA is yet, right? But and they probably will never catch the NBA. Who knows? Or they may. The problem is the NBA was just how we 44, 45. The NBA was like, when we were born, the NBA was still on tape delay. You know what I'm saying? We were like 5, 6, 7. The NBA was on tape delay. It wasn't like they were.
If they have a couple more March Madnesses like that, because, and you've said this 100 times, the last 2 years, the women's March Madness has been better than the March Madness.
Yep.
Now, I think this year it's a little bit more hype on the March Madness, and we'll get into with just the influx of freshmen.
Yep.
And just the projection that this might be one of the great draft classes, right there with the 84 and the 03 draft class. So it's a lot of excitement around this March Madness, but who knows? The women's March Madness has been, it's been competitive, right?
Yeah.
And it's produced a lot of stars to where they're starting to get more recognizable names to where people are like, all right, I'll tune in, I'll watch her.
Right.
Like Asia, she's must-see TV.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I feel like the women, they couldn't. I will say, I think that the men's March Madness is going to be amazing this year. I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's going to both sides. And I do like that they do both of the selection shows on the same night or same day. So I like that. I like that. And these women, they're only going to get better. It's not like they're going to get, like, the players are going to get worse. It's only going to get better. So the fact that they're getting this pay increase, and I think that the minimum is like $300,000, right? So yeah, that's
it's huge.
Yeah,
it's life changing, and
yeah, absolutely.
In the boat to where they don't want to go overseas. They don't have to go.
They don't have to go overseas. And if you can stop that, then you're gonna start having, because what's gonna start happening is they're gonna start getting more expansion teams. I think they had Golden State was an expansion team now. I think Toronto was expansion this year. I think they need to bring back a Houston team, right? But what I will say is, you start having those things, like, and the level of play picks up. You have the 3-on-3 leagues, and you still have WNBA. You're gonna squeeze out kind of like the European leagues. No, I don't want to say squeeze out, but that these women are not gonna have to go overseas. So then you're gonna start having those European athletes, women, start coming over to the United States. And you see what's happening in the NBA, so what needs to happen right now is for the WNBA to be the premier league in women's basketball, which I probably, if I have to, I think it is. You have those other leagues overseas, but
now,
yeah,
I think when they were, like you said, like when they were starting out in the 90s,
yeah,
a lot of your better talent was still going over to Europe,
right?
Well, I want to say China, like.
Yeah, I mean, they was going overseas. Yeah. So shout out to the women. I'm gonna try and get some horns. It better work. Hopefully, y'all hear them. Maybe not. Okay. Hold on one second. Oh, it's in there. I was about to say, dang, my microphone. I'm tripping. I forgot. I almost forgot. So anyway, all right. So March Madness. Let's start on the men's side. It's mainly we're gonna talk about the men today. We'll talk about the women. We just gave the women their props, but we're gonna talk men's NCAA tournament. Now, you know your favorites are like Duke, Arizona. I would say Michigan, Houston. Who would you consider to be a sleeper this year in the tournament? I know. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, Scott does a ton of research. He may not watch college basketball all year, but around like late February, first, second week of March.
I don't know if they're a sleeper.
Okay.
I like that Arkansas team.
Yeah.
I like Arkansas.
Dang.
I think most people are aware of BYU and their freshmen. I think Kansas and their freshmen.
Is he gonna play? is he gonna load manage?
I think he's gonna play.
Okay. I think he would be the best player in the tournament.
He's got the biggest question marks surrounding him. The talent is there,
yeah,
but a lot of people are concerned whether or not he can stay healthy, or like is he going to be durable. So I think he walks into this tournament really trying to like prove, like, hey, can I keep up with everybody? I liked Florida, but it was something about them in the SEC tournament that made me a little like not that big on UConn. I don't know if you've heard Mad Dog Russo's rant about St. John's and how UConn was a little overrated.
Who won the Big East? St. John's or UConn?
I want to say it might have been. I don't want to say it was St. John's. I know they beat UConn 2 out of 3 times this year, and that's what he was.
It was St. John's.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yep. St. John. Damn, St. John's beat him by 20.
Yeah. So his rant was like, how are they ranked
higher, and lost by 20, and lost 2 out of 3 matchups.
Yeah. So he had some question marks about that. A lot of people have St. John's beating Duke. Well, here's the thing about Duke. They've got a lot of injuries going into this tournament.
Right.
The other Boozer twin, was it Caden?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to have to find a little bit of points to give.
Find a way to put the ball in the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Of course, I've already like Michigan is every bracket. I don't really. I think Arizona is there. I've got Arizona and Michigan meeting, which it's kind of like
in the Final Four.
Well, it's two once. Houston, I've got concerns about them with can somebody else score on that team. Somehow every year I find a way to pick Houston and they disappoint me.
I mean, they was in the championship last year.
Yeah, but it's something about that team that
listen, Kelvin Sampson, he be like this. He be like this at the games. Oh, I'm get my Kelvin Sampson impersonation. That's all he do at the game. He be sitting back chilling. As long as the check don't clear. It's cool. And let me tell you, so a couple years ago, I covered the TBT at Houston, and I met Kelvin Sampson. Cool. He was a cool dude, right? The whole time in the tournament, because again they're the host team. he just, and it was funny because this was a lady said this. She was like, "That's how he is during the games." During the Houston game, man, I couldn't stop laughing because if you think about it, he always sitting back, But
I became a fan of him when he was at Oklahoma.
Yeah. He's a damn good coach. I mean, and he's paid his dues. I would definitely like to see him win a championship. I wouldn't mind seeing Houston win a championship. They have the players. They play really good defense. Michigan is, I of course I've picked Michigan in a few brackets. And I will say the last 2 times they went to the championship, I won some money. Well, no, I'm sorry. I could have won some money. In 2013, let me tell y'all about this real quick. So in 2013, shout out to Alex. Alex always has Alex always has his brackets and everything. I invited my good friend Scott over here to this bracket. So this one year, Michigan is playing Louisville in the championship, in the national championship. There's only 2 people left, 2 brackets left. One is mine, one is Scott's. I'm at work. I leave my desk once I find out that, he said, talk to Scott, see if you can split the money. So I get up from my desk. I'm mid-work, get up from my desk, go call my good friend Scott. I'll tell you, good guy. He's a good guy, right? I say, Scott, it's just us. Mind you, it's about like 60 brackets. I say, Scott, it's just the 2 of us left, it's winner take all. What let's just split the money. Is Michigan? You got Michigan. I mean, I have Michigan. You got Louisville. We both Michigan fans. We should be rooting for Michigan, but I know, let's just split the money. Verbatim. Man, fuck no. Whoa. Hey, listen, dog. And he was like, nah, I ain't splitting no money. I want to win. I want to be. I'm like, dog, you can still win. It don't matter. Let's split the money. He refused to split the money. So from that day and later that night or that game, whenever the game was played, I lost. Michigan lost to Louisville, and he won the money. Since that day, I made it my business that anytime I went against Scott, we would not be splitting no pot, and I look to beat him down. From that day, and it's been like that in everything, whether it's battlegrounds, whether it's Madden, whether it's fantasy football, and so I get so much joy when I beat him because of that one time. Mind you, before that, we've competed plenty of time, and it was ever since 2013, March or April or whatever it was of 2013. This man didn't want to split the money, and there's been beef ever since. The floor is yours.
You gotta let that hurt go.
I will not. Absolutely not. Because we could have split the money, yo.
So that was the young and dumb, right? Now I've come to my senses where I realize that half a pot is better than no pot.
Absolutely.
And I probably would have took that bet. Or split the money had I known what I've known now. So once somebody, I forgot who it's, that's the way they explained it to me. Yeah. It's like, would you rather take half a pot or no pot? I'm like, that half a pot sounds good. So now, I'll tell you what though. A lot of people think I won a lot of brackets. But the reality is, the year that I do, the years that I do more research, start to figure out like the players and analyze like the matchups, I do terrible. This year, I put a lot of thought into my brackets since Monday. I can assure you it's going to be probably one of my worst brackets. Because whenever I start to overthink it, because I have a ton of upsets in those.
Is VCU one of them? VCU's an upset? Yeah. So
I think they could beat North Carolina.
I don't think North Carolina's that good.
No,
And
I forget what was his name, Caleb.
not that one. I was about to say Caleb Williams.
No,
that's you talking about
for North Carolina.
Is it Wilson?
Yeah, he's out for
he's
the
out.
season.
Yeah,
so I don't see them being able to pass him. But that's one of them. I guess Hail Mary things, because like if VCU doesn't win that game, it's like, man, VCU wasn't going to beat North Carolina. Like,
I think that VCU can win that game. The other thing is, like, I think that Miami of Ohio is going to play tonight, and they play SMU. There's two HBCUs that won their first four. Howard won yesterday, and Prairie View A&M. They hot. They won the Celebration Bowl. Now they in the NCAA tournament. But anyway, that's two HBCUs in the tournament. That's dope. I guess that would have been like that anyway because of this SWAC and the MEAC.
So I believe SMU is like 30 and like 1.
No, Miami of Ohio is 31 and 1.
Yeah, Miami.
They're the ones that haven't gotten in. I think them as an 11 seed is they're gonna beat SMU tonight, right? They shouldn't be in the first four matchup. They literally lost their last game. Their league championship is what they lost, if I'm not mistaken. They either lost in the championship or the semifinals. I forget. They should have been a higher seed. So to me, what that tells me, even if they would have won their tournament, they probably would have been like a 9 seed or an 8 seed. That ain't
from what I gather, and I'm not saying that's right. I guess their strength of schedule is not that good, and they play in a lesser.
They play in the MAC.
Yeah, I don't know, man. 30 and 1 in the season.
31 and 1.
Yeah. They should have had a
higher, and they shouldn't be playing in the first four. So right. I think that they could be one of those teams that go on the 2011 VCU type run. Like they could go on a run, or they could just lose tonight and it'd be over, right? So, but I do believe that they beat SMU tonight, and they're gonna give teams fits. Who I'm trying to see who they.
I always feel is overrated.
Who?
UVA.
Oh God!
I can't, for the love of God, understand why they're the third seed. And
they did have a good season too, though.
I don't know. I just
they was in the ACC championship.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm never so on them. So I had them going out pretty early. I've got Tennessee.
But so Tennessee will play the winner of tonight.
Yeah, so I have Tennessee making a run to at least the Sweet 16. I think I have them in the.
Oof. So if Tennessee and whoever wins tonight, the winner of that game plays the winner of Virginia, Wright State, and I wouldn't sleep on Wright State against Virginia.
So I'm trying to think who Rod Strickland's team is. They play at number 1.
Rod Strickland.
So it's got to be Arizona. Might be Arizona.
Arizona plays Long Island.
Yeah, that's Rod Strickland's team.
Rod Strickland's the coach of LIU. I thought it was somebody else.
That's Rod Strickland.
You sure? I thought it was not Skip Tomorrow.
Whatever the Fins are, that's the mascot.
The Sharks, you mean?
The Sharks, but they use like some crazy like fin.
Well, that's news to me. I thought it was somebody else.
The crazy thing is he's turned that program around to where like they had like 1 win the year before he got there. So like within like 2 or 3 years, he's turned that whole program around to where they're fighting. So they say don't sleep on his team.
Wow, Rod Strickland is the coach.
Yeah, and he's got like some Canadian talent. Yeah, it's crazy.
They're not gonna beat Arizona.
They're not gonna beat Arizona.
But if they beat Arizona,
but you gotta. I mean, we all like Rod Strickland, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the team that Jerry McNamara coaches.
From Syracuse?
Yeah, he's got a number 16 team. He coaches the team that's playing Duke. What is it?
Siena?
Siena. Yeah, he coaches Siena.
Okay.
So just like remembering like that 2003 run with Carmelo, and then I'm like, dang, this man is coaching now. Whatnot.
Yeah.
So he's got some dogs.
And so supposedly he's in rumors to be the next Syracuse coach.
Yeah. He kind of shut it down.
Of course. Yeah, I worry about Duke.
But yeah, he's been.
Can they beat Duke?
Here's the thing.
Who has a better chance to win? I ask you that. Who has a better chance to win? Siena over Duke or Long Island over Arizona?
Siena over Duke. So let me say this stuff.
Okay.
I have Duke in my mind. Oh, right. So I don't really believe that. But if I had to put my money on what is more likely, because if you think about it, right, and I don't want this to happen. I don't want any injuries to happen. Duke is already banged up.
Yeah.
And you know how these games go to where somebody twists an ankle. You never know.
Right.
And they're already like injury riddled. Another team could take the opportunity with that. So
Duke nor Arizona is going to lose, but
no, they're not. They're not going to lose. If one of those teams lose to the other two teams,
the brackets are busted.
Yeah. Well, we'll do an episode right after that because
yeah, absolutely.
There is no way that's going to happen. But I do want to give a shout out to Rod Strickland and Jerry Mack.
Definitely. Man. So it's another. Is it? It might. I know Seton Hall is what you call it. They used to play at Seton Hall, but it don't matter. Yeah. So I think this tournament is. There's always upsets. You know what? I would love to see someone get a perfect bracket one day. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Nah.
Because a lot of times it's the you don't play these type of teams all the time, and you got all of these underdogs that are playing with their hair on fire. No one, all we have is us. No one believes in us. So it never fails that you have a 12 beating a 5. Yeah, that's like a yearly thing. You'll have it's like once every 3 or 4 years you'll have a 15 beat a 2. I think 16-1 has only happened once, but I mean, how many 15s have beaten 2s, right? That happens often. Those 11 seeds felt like they're disrespected. Those 9 seeds, 8, 9 don't really. I don't count that as an upset, but those 11 seeds, a lot like a Miami of Ohio, feel like I should be higher. You're not just happy to be here. So you got some of these. You got some teams that are just going to be happy to be here. Like I mean, I hate to say this, but Howard, right? If Howard wins, I'd be surprised. Now I'm not saying that they're sorry because they won their conference tournament. I don't even know Howard's record, but I would love to see Howard win, right?
Yeah, but to your point though, what do you have to lose, right? So
right.
If you're anybody and you're thinking, you know what, this is my opportunity to show the world like what I can do. This is my stage. You got to take full advantage of that. So I think that's what we see a lot of times in March Madness is like players, they just get hot. Some of them just take advantage of the spotlight and they really just put on their best performances. And you really just never know because you have, unless you're a diehard fan of a team, right? And if you look at it, the only number 8 seed to ever win the national championship was Villanova in 1985.
Right.
Everybody else has been higher than the 8th seed, right? So those teams that are like ranked 12 or 13, they don't have a real opportunity. They don't really have a real chance. If you look at data, you look at history, to win the national championship. However, they can mess up your bracket.
And it will mess up your bracket. They will mess up your bracket. So something's gonna happen. Yeah.
So they may win that first game, maybe the first 2 games, maybe they even get to the Sweet 16, or sometimes we've seen them get to the Final Four.
Yep.
But for the most part, you may not have caught it unless you go to that university, or you really watch that team, or you really say like, all right, yeah, I've been watching this player, like they're really good. So
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see who is that. Because again, you don't want to be that team that is upset. So I think every 5 seed is always super nervous because 12s that like they have a history of winning in the first round, at least one, right? And so your 4 12 seeds are let's see, McNeese State, they're playing Vanderbilt. That's in the South. In the Midwest, you have Akron. I'm sorry. Akron is playing Texas Tech. So and then in the West, you have High Point playing Wisconsin. And in the East, you have Northern Iowa playing St. John's. So history says one of those 4 teams are going to win. Northern Iowa, High Point, Akron, or McNeese State. And if I had to choose one, I mean McNeese State they had a mini run last year. They're playing Vanderbilt. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know a lot about Vanderbilt.
So I'm high up in Vanderbilt.
Okay.
So yeah. So for me.
So what about Wisconsin? They playing High Point.
So that's the team.
That's the one.
That's the one I'm gonna put my money on.
High Point.
I'm gonna put my money on. I don't know a lot about High Point, but I know enough about. I know enough about Wisconsin.
Okay. Ugh. And watch Wisconsin win by 30.
But that's how I be.
Like,
So look,
you gotta find them one.
If you're listening to me right now, I'm telling you, do not take anything that I'm saying and put it on your bracket.
I would say McNeese State. So I'm going with McNeese State. They went on the mini. Is it McNeese State, the one that had the trainer or manager holding the boombox last year? That was McNeese State, wasn't it?
Now I remember the guy holding the boombox.
Yeah, I think he's still there.
He got like a ton of like.
Yeah, he got like NIL money and everything. So yeah, man. I think that yeah, absolutely. From Amir Khan, right? And his nickname was Aura. So he had deal. He got more just from the March Madness. He got deals from Tick Pick, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Insomnia Cookies because of his viral pregame walkout routines with that's crazy, right? And I'm surprised because the people that the boombox people, I can't remember the because anyway, I'm surprised he didn't get a deal from them because he's walking out with the but yeah, so I mean I'm going with McNeese State, yo. I mean, they had some balls. I think they lost to Purdue last year. Purdue was pretty good, and Purdue's good this year too. They won the Big Ten, So, yeah, coach is a hell of a coach, by the way.
Well,
so
he exploited Michigan's inability to stop the pick and roll. So
yeah.
Hopefully, we get that corrected.
And they play Howard, so I got Michigan beating Howard. They better beat Howard. They better beat Howard. And let me tell you, just real quick, because I know we're about to get out of here. The women, right? And we'll talk more about the women next week as well. But I think UConn is like the pick, the sexy pick, so to say, because they're undefeated and everything.
You can never go wrong with picking UConn.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I have and I have to see where they're ranked. I'm going to go to the women's bracket, but I have Notre Dame. I have Notre Dame going to the Final Four.
Okay.
I think that, and they are. I don't think they're 1 seed. So shout out to Kyle Baptist. I don't know where. I've never even heard of this school before, but their men's and women's made the tournament. They both 16 seeds, but both their men and women made the tournament. So Notre Dame is a UConn is the 1 seed. Notre Dame is a 6 seed, but I think that Hannah Hidalgo, who is from Jersey, is an absolute monster, and she will carry them to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna hold you. I have done zero research. I'll just start watching.
So I'm gonna tell you some teams to watch. The easy ones are like UConn, UCLA, LSU, but like I said, Notre Dame is a team to watch out for. Maryland, even though they're a 5 seed, is a team to watch out for. Of course, Duke. You know they've been pretty solid, and probably Ohio State. So those aside from the UConn, no. Oh, and, in South Carolina, So I would say it's gonna be it's probably gonna be South Carolina and UConn in the championship again. But I would watch out for those other teams. But it's gonna be hard to beat UConn or South Carolina. It's ridiculous how good these teams are.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Before you get out of here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was 2 questions? Number 1, Jalen Waddle to the Denver Broncos. What did you think about that?
I thought it was good. So I thought it was similar to DJ Moore to Buffalo. And the reason being is because Denver may have overpaid, but it was a need that they got. And it was someone who, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Waddle already got his money. So that contract is done. You don't have to worry about negotiation. He's probably going to need an extension in a year or two. So that deal is done. I'm not sure about DJ Moore's deal if it's done. I think he already got his money, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But I think giving up they gave up their first, which is pretty much a second. I think their second, which is pretty much a third, and another pick, I forget. So I feel like they have low. They didn't have a lot of needs. Their biggest need was receiver. They got somebody like Jalen Waddle, who's a vet, who's damn good. If you're giving him another weapon, because isn't what you call it still there? Who was Sutton? Yeah. So I mean, you pair them up. I think you have something, and yeah. I look at it like this: pick number 30. If is the receiver that you're gonna pick up at 30 gonna be as good as Jalen Waddle right now? Not in 2-3 years, like right now. Is he gonna be as good as Jalen Waddle right now? And if your answer is no, then I mean, shoot, I personally don't mind it. I initially from first, I'm like, damn, they paid a lot, but that's a position of need. They picked up a running back in free agency. Who the fuck? Man, they picked up a running back nonetheless.
They signed the guy that always getting J.K. Dobbins or whatever. They re-signed him.
They did?
Yeah, I forgot.
Was it Dowdle? No, I don't think they picked up Dowdle.
I forgot the running back that they did get, but I'm starting to see more and more teams do this to where they're like sending those picks and getting like players. So I think it's a good strategy. You want to improve your team a lot faster.
Yeah.
To your point, you get a veteran that you can bring in that pairs good with the team and expedites Bo Nix's growth because you have him really on a rookie deal. So before you have to commit with big money,
right,
you could really see how good he could be with the right weapons. So now I like the move, man. I thought it was.
I did too. So they, yeah. I mean, and the Broncos weren't far off anyway. I mean, they were. I mean, if it doesn't snow, I think they're in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I can't. You can't really. I mean, no, not if it doesn't. If what you call it doesn't get hurt. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, they I feel like they beat the Patriots, and we get a much more competitive Super Bowl. So I don't think they're far off. I think that you look at the Chiefs, who you don't know when Mahomes is coming back, and the Chargers, who was probably going to be their immediate competition. You got to do something, right?
What do you think about Justin Fields as Mahomes' backup?
I mean, I guess I don't feel nothing, man. I just think that
it's going to be a good opportunity.
It is.
Sit back, learn.
Yeah, but Mahomes is out probably the first 8 weeks of the season. Well, so I don't know.
Can Andy Reid
Fix him?
Andy Reid has a tendency to be able to. So it was intriguing to me because Andy Reid's not going to bring in a quarterback that he doesn't feel like he can't fix.
Okay. I mean, so
you give him Kenneth Walker. He's got Travis Kelce still coming.
This is the best team that Justin Fields has ever played on in the NFL.
So I was listening to somebody. I don't know, and I apologize if I say this story twice. I was listening to Steve Young.
Okay.
And he was comparing himself to Sam Darnold. And he was saying that when he was with the Buccaneers, like life was just bad. You know what I mean? Like the team
was terrible.
Sorry,
yeah. Okay.
And when he got with the 49ers, that pressure like left him because it's like, okay, now I'm a backup quarterback, but now I'm playing with all this talent.
Right.
So it was like a light bulb went off with him to where he was able to like just really see how good he could be. With Sam Darnold, he was saying like it's the same type of journey where like everybody wrote him off with the Jets, wrote him off with Carolina, but like when you really put the right quarterback with the right talent, it can start to click. Now I'm not saying that Justin Fields, because I think we've been pretty critical of him, is going to have a similar jump because that's probably not going to be the case. But
it might be.
You put him in the right situation with all the intangibles and Andy Reid.
So can Justin Fields lead? Can he create a quarterback controversy?
He would never do it. No.
All right, so that part is out.
Yeah.
Can he win some games in Kansas City?
Yeah, and I think if he plays this right and everything lines up, he could find himself in a Sam Darnold, Mac Jones, Baker Mayfield type of situation where teams take a second look at him and say, you know what? He looked pretty good with the Chiefs. We're struggling. Maybe we could bring him in for a couple years, or he could find himself in a Malik Willis situation where.
No. Well, I guess yeah. He's a little older. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
It shows it now. I'm not putting any money in that, and I'm not putting any stock that that's going to happen.
Okay.
But I will say that it's possible. Like when I thought about
it, it
wasn't too far off.
All right. So I don't think Justin Fields is next year's Sam Darnold. Maybe more like, you know what? I don't know. No. He doesn't have a lot of pressure on. He has no pressure on him, really. Well, there may be a little bit of pressure, right? I don't know who else is there. Who else is in the Kansas City quarterback room?
So can he be the next Teddy Bridgewater? Right. So if
I don't think Bridgewater was as bad as Justin Fields. Justin Fields been.
Let's say Mahomes is out 8 weeks, right?
Okay.
If he's able to keep them 4-4,
okay,
or maybe 3-5,
Oof.
which is not great.
He was 4-2 in Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he's able to keep them 4-4, and he plays decent,
okay,
like he's going to have to demonstrate
a quarterback controversy.
Maybe for the backup quarterback. No.
Okay. Okay. I was just asking.
Hell no, it won't be no. Nah, hell no.
Okay. Quarterback controversy. All right. No. So, all right. I mean,
I don't care if Justin those for 5 touchdowns a game, no interceptions, 300 yards for 8 games.
There's no quarterback controversy.
No.
They're not gonna think about it. Like Mahomes, you can stay hurt a little longer. No, okay. Hey, look, I'm just asking. I don't know. I don't know.
Situations like back to the bench.
Yeah, you still get to learn. You still have Mahomes as a teammate. You know. So with Justin Fields, I still believe this. I think that because I said this earlier this year that Justin Fields is cooked, right? And the reason why I said that was because at this point it don't even matter if he gets a the coach and everything, because he's been beaten up so much. Excuse me, he's been beaten up so much, and he's had so many different coordinators, and he hasn't really had the talent around him to where he can be successful. He had like minimal talent around him in Pittsburgh, and he was 4-2, right, as the starter. But I think that now you look at some of the pieces that they have. Travis Kelce's coming back. They have Kenneth Walker, Rashee Rice, and I think Juju Smith. Well, whatever, forget him. But they still have pieces. These that's the most piece. Now, the other problem is Kansas City O-line ain't that great. But they have, but the O-line, but this O-line is better than the O-line he had in Chicago, Pittsburgh, or New York. So I think that I do think that he can, if there's any time where he can regain confidence, the confidence that he had coming out of Ohio State, this is the time, right?
Well, he's got the perfect coach to do it.
And
I
that
believe
too.
that Andy Reid designs an offense that plays to his strengths.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to ask him to do too much. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they went out and got Kenneth Walker, is because I don't know if Andy Reid.
Nah, he gonna run it, but he ain't had no good. But I say this: if all that happens, we have a quarterback controversy. All right, so there's nothing that he can do.
He just enhances the opportunity
to get a new contract somewhere else. Okay, all right. So yeah. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that he'll have an opportunity to, again, like you said, showcase his talent for the rest of the league. But I don't know if it'll be enough for him to be the guy somewhere else. Well, his career is cooked as like a starting quarterback. I think he'll be a backup and he'll start in spurts. I don't know, and I could be wrong, of course, but I don't know if he ever gets the opportunity to be QB1.
It's going to be tough. And I think we all agree that he's had a lot of opportunities. Now, they weren't the best circumstances.
All his opportunities sucked. It wasn't that. Now, and that part I don't blame on him. Chicago never did anything to build around him, even though they drafted him at 3 or whatever. Pittsburgh, he played better than Russell Wilson, but because Russell Wilson was getting like $500,000 more, they started him. And the Jets are the Jets. I mean, whatever. When's the last time we seen a good Jets quarterback? So probably, I don't even know if Mark Sanchez was that good when he was with the Jets. I don't know. Maybe Brett Favre before he got hurt.
Crazy. But Aaron Rodgers might have been their best quarterback
in the last 30 years.
So Brett Favre,
until he got hurt, he was like, I think, wasn't he like 8-4 or something like that? Until he got hurt.
Season 500.
Yeah,
they barely missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. But he was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Brett, I mean,
Then he tested Verdi.
And he taking it back.
Nah, but I'm thinking like, because Mark Sanchez, yeah, he got him to the AFC Championship game,
mm-hmm.
but he wasn't. He was a game manager at the time because those teams had like.
There you go.
No, well, those teams had the Damian Thompson.
Yeah.
Rex Ryan's defenses were good.
But those Jets teams were good. Those Jets teams made the playoffs.
Yeah, but they were defense focused like teams. It wasn't like Mark Sanchez was going out there throwing for like 300 yards, or he was good. Good might be an overstatement. It's serviceable, disrespectful.
Who for
Sanchez?
You mean his first 2 years, or no? It's not disrespectful. I think he was okay. I wouldn't say he was like he wasn't anything to write home about, you know. So, but it's gonna be interesting to see the rest of these moves. The draft is coming up next month. The pro days are going down. Like now, spring ball is going on. I'm gonna give a shout out to Adon. I mean, he's getting ready to graduate. He's going in, you know, and he got. I mean, they Notre Dame got. If they don't win it now, I don't know if they're ever going to win. You know, they got the team to do it. So we'll see in regards to that. But yeah, man, March Madness is here. You know, if Duke or Arizona loses, we will be recording immediately. And I don't care where I'm at. I may be out of town. Don't matter. I'll record from my phone if we have to. But yeah, that's crazy. All right. Are we done?
Done. It's a wrap.
We talked about a lot, yo. This was supposed to be a short show. we was like, yeah, we're gonna record for about 30 minutes. And yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're welcome, people. You're welcome. All right, this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo. See you. Hold on. Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.